Okay, in 4.4, you learned how to find slope of a line when you're given 2 points on the line. We're going to talk about in 4.6 is slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is when we write an equation in y equals mx plus b form. A couple things I want to point out here. Your m is always going to be your coefficient, and your b is always going to be your constant term when you are writing in slope-intercept form. So when given an equation, y equals 2x plus b here, we can already tell that the slope is the coefficient 2, and the y-intercept is going to be at 3. Okay, so b means the y-intercept. So first of all, we're just going to write a couple equations in slope-intercept form. The first one is done for us already. So we're going to write y equals, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it a coefficient of a -1, x plus 2. So the slope, and again, slope is rise over run, so my slope is going to be -1 over 1, and my y-intercept is going to happen at 2. Okay, so if it's a y-intercept, it means that I'm not going to move on x at all, so it is going to be on 0, 2. Okay, my next equation, y equals x plus 3 over 2. If I want to write it as coefficient, I would have 1/2 x plus 3/2, because everything there is divided by 2. So my slope in this case would be at 1/2, and my y-intercept would be at 0, 3/2. My next equation is simply y equals -4. So if I'm going to go ahead and split that one up, I would be y equals, I don't have an x term, so there's 0 x terms, minus 4. So my slope is, I have a 0 slope. You learned about that in the last lesson. 0 slope means it's going to be a horizontal line. And where is that line going to be located? It's going to be located at the y-intercept of -4. And then my last one is the first one they didn't put in slope-intercept form for us to begin with. So I need to get my y to be by itself. So I'm going to get -4y. This goes back a couple lessons. -2x plus 16. Now I need to solve for a single y. So I need to divide both sides by -4. So this time I would get, I'll write that back up here, y equals -2 divided by a -4 would be a positive 1/2 x. And 16 divided by a -4 is going to be a -4. So again here I would have a slope. We're going to do it as rise over run. Now if you look in the book, you're going to notice that they put that the slope is a 0.5. I will not accept that because slope is rise over run. So you need to have it in a fraction form. Okay? You cannot have it as a decimal form. Rise over run, you need to have a numerator and a denominator. So now we're going to graph using the slope and y-intercept. So we're given an equation. I'm going to rewrite that so you can see it a little bit better. The first step is to write the equation in that slope-intercept form. So we want to get it that it is y, or a function, that x is going to be a function of y, or y is going to be a function of x, sorry. So I'm going to go ahead, isolate my y here. Y equals -3x plus 2. Now it's in our y equals mx plus b form. This is slope-intercept form. So I can go ahead and I can say the slope is the coefficient to x, which is -3 over 1, and the y-intercept is going to be at the constant term, which is 2, so that means it's going to be at 0, 2. So, two different lines in the same plane are parallel if they don't intersect. Parallel lines stay the same distance between them at all points. So in a coordinate plane, any two vertical lines are parallel. Any two non-vertical lines are parallel if and only if they have the same slope. So using what we know about parallel lines, it says identify a family of parallel lines. So which of the following lines are parallel? So to be parallel, they need to have the same slope. So our plan of attack is to rewrite each of those in slope-intercept form. So the first one, I'm going to add x to both sides. I will end up with 2y equals x plus 6. Need to divide by 2. So I have y equals 1/2 x plus 3. Remember to distribute your division to both of those terms. In my next one, I'm going to write that one down here a little bit. I'm going to add x to both sides again. So I will end up with 2y equals x minus 2. Divide both sides by 2. Whoops, sorry about that. So I get y equals 1/2 x minus 1. And my last one, subtract x from both sides, and I get 2y equals negative x plus 4, and I get y equals negative 1/2 plus 2. So the two lines that are parallel have to have the same slope. Slope, when we're writing in slope-intercept form, is the m term. So the one that has the same m term would be here and here. So line A and B are parallel. And that concludes the lesson